This is the second clip I'm putting out from Hebden Bridge, and I feel like this needs a bit of context, which is why you're hearing me first. You're about to hear from Christine from Hebden Friends of Palestine, someone else that my friend and tour guide on the day, John Berry, was dead eager for me to meet. Christine stands in Hebden Bridge Market pretty much every weekend with placards, and she invites discussion from anyone walking past about the genocide in Palestine. She's had a few ups and downs with the council, as you can imagine, and she's also got a history of this kind of stuff, of protesting. So she was also one of the Greenham Women, and this was a group of people who protested the storage of nuclear cruise missiles in Greenham Common in Berkshire. And this camp ran from 1981 to 2000, so like 19 years. Christine's an absolutely fascinating woman, and I'll let her take it from here.
Just saying it's wrong to kill children, women and men. It's wrong to kill anybody. I thought we'd grasped that a long time ago, but seemingly we haven't. It depends who you kill. And seemingly it's really fine to kill Palestinians. And I go there every year and I've seen how they're treated in the West Bank and in Jerusalem, and it's appalling that we let them get away with breaking international law every single day. And the Palestinians are just, I've talked to Palestinians every time I go, and, when you have a conversation about what's happening in their lives, they say, I think nearly everybody has said to me, we just want to live in peace. But if the other side doesn't want to live in peace, then there's no peace. And what's happened now in Gaza is because the ICJ didn't say there should be a ceasefire, last night they killed even more Palestinians to punish them for even going to the ICJ. Well, South Africa went, but they gave some evidence. So now they're suffering because they actually did that. And the ICJ, who didn't call for a ceasefire, which is appalling, they've given out a list of things that Israel is going to do, and they've said we're going to do none of them. And they didn't, and they killed people, more people than ever last night. And there's no end to it. And the Americans have just sent them over more fighter jets and more attack helicopters. I mean, this world is fucked. Absolutely. We're all done for. International law means absolutely nothing. And if it means absolutely nothing, then people like the Israelis and those with the same mindset can carry on doing whatever they want to do. And what they want to do is put little children under the rubble. And it's, as a human being, I find that I just can't deal with that. It just hurts my heart. And what they're doing there as well is they're using a lot of banned weapons. They're using
experimenting as well.
Yes, experimenting. They're using white phosphorus, which takes the skin off down to the bone on children. They're using cluster bombs, but they're also using
thermobaric.
Yeah, yes.
Thermobaric.
So when the children they come into the hospital, I kept watching it, thinking, well, they're not bleeding, and they look like they're asleep. Because they've blown them up inside, haven't they? I mean, what are we? When I went to Greenham, I felt like I'd been born, actually. Because you could feel that you had power. Whereas most of us think we don't have power, but we do. And we were able to use that power to send back, because I was there when they came, and I was there when they left.
What were you sending back?
Yeah, can you describe what the Greenham Women were doing?
Well, we had delegations that came from all over the world to talk to us and to bring solidarity, which was wonderful. And we also had we went we did speaking in two other organisations about what we were doing. I spoke in Trafalgar Square on one occasion at a demo. And we were we went to different places in the world. I remember going to Geneva and being arrested, put up a tent, put up a camp in a park, and they didn't like it. So we went all over but we learned from each other, and we did, we went inside the base, and we...
Do you mean you broke into?
Yes, we broke in.
Cut the wire.
So,
yes, cut the wire.
What was the objective of for anyone that doesn't know what the Greenham Women were doing?
Well, the objective of it was to get rid of cruise missiles.
And they were nuclear.
And they were nuclear cruise missiles.
Yeah.
It was to get rid of them. And the more that we could make problems, and the more women that came down, and the more organisations that joined us, we did make lots of problems. And we also had another role to play in that when the cruise missile launchers went out to practice on Salisbury Plain, we used to run down to the phone, because no mobile phones, so we used to run down to the phone box and say the cruise missiles have gone out, and then we'd go to the roundabout at the bottom, and they came back from their exercises, the vehicles had bags thrown at them with food colouring, which was red, but I've been in a cruise missile launcher, so it was scary.
Did you break into it?
Well, no, what happened was we went we were car, 4 of us, and we ended up, we were hid in a ditch until the things went by. I don't know if I could do it then. And we had to walk over a ploughed field. There was 2 of us, and we were like, oh my God, and there they were all lined up. So we went and got into the cruise missile launcher we were watching. We were sat in the front seat, and you're looking at all the buttons and fire, and then I'm starting to feel even more a bit uncomfortable. There's a lot of men with guns walking up and down, and they didn't notice us getting. Anyway, in the end, we opened the window and went, hello, we're in here. But they just called the MOD, and they took us back to Greenham. I mean, we had loads of fun as well, and we learned from each other. But it was a serious thing. I mean, some of us one woman was killed, and women were hurt. I was hurt. I had a broken arm, and from the authorities, from the police, and also from the MOD, but mostly the police, who were awful.